Live from Fox 35 News, you're watching Good Day Orlando.
Everybody, good morning. Great to be with you. We have made it to Friday. Got a lot to talk about today. I'm Ronnie Elijah.
Happy Friday out there, everyone. Definitely feeling like Florida today, but a major winter storm is impacting millions of Americans this morning across the country. And Fox 35's Amanda Ruiz is live at Orlando International Airport right now as travelers are definitely already dealing with those delays and cancellations. But first, let's check in with Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner. He is tracking this storm for us. Hey, Brooks.
It's a wallop of a storm developing as well. Good morning, Stephanie. Huge delays and cancellations. That's the name of the game for air traffic from Boston, New York, D.C., Atlanta, Nashville, and Dallas this weekend and early next week. None yet from the system because the system hasn't formed, but it's on the way to forming, and it's going to hit with a punch with a widespread, more than 2,000-mile region where over a foot of snow could fall and there could be significant icing. We'll get into the details of where the worst will hit, but there's going to be a significant icing event from Dallas points east through Atlanta along the I-20 corridor, and what could be some very serious snow across the northeast and also parts of the mid-south. 58 degrees right now in Orlando. The best thing about talking about this system from the perspective of here in Central Florida is that it is not coming here. In fact, this weekend, while folks up north will be shoveling out, we'll be measuring sunshine with a yardstick because there's going to be a bunch of it, and it's going to be in the 80s this weekend. It's going to be great. Yeah, you don't have to worry about measuring snow out there. It'll just be perfect weather. 57 Winter Haven, 56 Daytona Beach. Great weather for the Rolex 24 for tomorrow and for Sunday, although some may argue this is a little bit warm for this time of the year. Our typical high 71. We're going to top out today at 80 today at 3 o'clock after a lunchtime temperature of the mid-70s. Beautiful afternoon. Coming up, we'll talk about the Rolex 24. We'll also look ahead to our temperature not just today, but also into the weekend with near record highs. There is a wild temperature contrast across the U.S., and that's what is producing this huge winter storm. All right, let's get to our Skyfox traffic right now. Jessica is in with the latest. Hey there. Hey,
good morning. I want to let you know about a new incident that's popped up near downtown Orlando. It's close, near Mills Ave. So this is going to be where the road's close on East Colonial, and this is going to be near, again, Mills Avenue on Summerlin Avenue. So that's going to be the interchange there. We can see that purple that shows where it's closed off. That's going to be where we're experiencing some of those delays that are causing backups even on East Colonial. So just keep that in mind. That interchange there is going to cause you some issues. It's pretty busy too, so just plan accordingly. When it comes to another incident we're watching, I-95, this is going to be close to State Road 46 where they do have the on-ramp partially closed off there. You can see several law enforcement vehicles at the site of that crash, and it looks like it's pretty close to the MIMS area. So it's technically part of West Main Street, but it looks like, again, it's going to be that on-ramp. They are letting cars through. It just looks like a lane or two is blocked off there. So that's some good news that they do have it at least open at this point. We're seeing some slowdowns, though, definitely taking place now near Champions Gate into downtown. That stretch, you're looking at a 32-minute drive. I'd give yourself at least 45 minutes. We're seeing some stop-and-go traffic due to that congestion as people merge onto I-4 from 192 there, heading eastbound. So definitely want to give yourself some extra time. Lots of brake tapping and congestion there. Otherwise, some other trouble spots for us that we normally would see that look good. 15 minutes from St. Cloud to I-4 if you're heading northbound on the Turnpike. All right, I'll send it back over to you, Stephanie and Ryan.
Thank you so much, Jess. Well, the winter storm moving across the country, it's going to cause a lot of travel issues over the weekend and today as well. You're taking a live look right now at all the flight delays and cancellations from FlightAware. So you can see this is what they call the misery map. Right now, the most delays are in Boston. Also, Newark Liberty Airport has 4 delays at this point. Also, Detroit seeing quite a few slowdowns. But here's the thing. A lot of the airlines are letting you cancel your flight with no fee. We want to check in with Fox 35's Amanda Ruiz, who is joining us live right now from Orlando International Airport with a look at how MCO is doing. Hey, Amanda, how's it going so far today at Orlando International?
Good morning. Well, right now the weather here in Orlando, that is not going to be an issue at all. It's starting to pick up, get a little busy. People are trying to beat the rush. But the issue is where they're coming from, where the flights are coming to and from. That's going to where the big issue is going to be, because as the major winter storm is coming for a large part of the country, a lot of people are worried.
All right, Amanda, thanks. Want to get to a Fox 35 update this morning. A local elementary school is going to turn into a first-of-its-kind public charter school. This happens in Orange Center Elementary. That's near Camping World. Parents have the final say. Most of them did approve this plan. It is a partnership between Orange County Public Schools and nonprofit Lift Orlando.
I believe it is. I think it's going to be a model that's going to shape how collaboration can take place between a place-based organization and with the school district to work together to shape public education and provide excellent opportunities for children for many years to come.
And so we're going to learn from what has worked here. We are going to continue to share with our families all of the resources and supports that are available so that they understand all the choices that are provided in Orange County Public Schools.
Now, by 2029, this is set to become a K-9 STEAM academy. I want to turn to a Fox 35 exclusive. This morning, we are hearing from the Good Samaritan who was armed only with his toolbox.
Yeah, so we have now confirmed that Joseph Wells is the man who saved that teenager that police say was being choked by a homeless man. Wells was just taking his son to school at the time when he noticed two people who appeared to be fighting by a bus stop. He thought it was a couple of teenagers play fighting at first, but when he turned back around the car, he noticed it was 36-year-old Christopher Schwabel right here and a 13-year-old. He says that Schwabel was dragging the child at the time, and his first and only instinct, he tells us, was to step in and help.
In my head, I just saw so many bad things happening to that young man. And I didn't know if he was okay or not, and I had to keep control of the situation after that guy came at me with the knife, so I couldn't just let him up and let him walk down the street.
Talk about a hero. Wells was able to hit Schwabel with his toolbox and pin him down until police arrived. Schwabel is being held on no bond at this time.
Well, tomorrow is going to mark 20 years since Jennifer Kessie vanished from her Orlando apartment complex. She has not been found. Back in October, her family told us they had hoped the investigation was moving in the right direction. Authorities are telling them the case is no longer considered cold.
FDLE is going fast and furious. Everything is being put on Jennifer as far as resources are concerned.
So Good Day Orlando is going to have extended coverage of the 20th anniversary of her disappearance. Coming up in 7:45, we're going to talk to former Orlando Police Chief Orlando Verlone. Then at 8:15, you'll hear from Jennifer's parents, Drew and Joyce Kessie. They will join us to discuss the very latest in this case and the details and maybe how a DNA could play a role. Tonight, Fox 35 is going to have a half-hour special on the latest in the search for Jennifer Kessie. That is tonight at 7 p.m. right here on Fox 35. Yeah, a lot of fireworks flying during those ceremonies. It was interesting to see each party take their shot. Totally different questions, as
Definitely.
always.
It is 7:10 right now on this Friday morning. And coming up here on Good Day Orlando, here's a question. Is one of your New Year's resolutions breaking the bank?
Yeah, so we're going to take a look at how much your weight loss goals are really costing you this year. And a historic winter storm, it is pushing through the east. We've talked a lot about it affecting millions of travelers. We've got a live report coming up from Dallas, Texas, as ice and snow threatening the Texas area. They're not always used to this. Stay with us for that and much more.
We Love Florida, sponsored by Snedeker Law, putting the personal back in personal injury.
Welcome back. Really, the whole country is watching this. A historic winter storm is expected to extend over 2,000 miles, bringing ice and snow to millions of Americans.
Dangerous conditions could certainly lead to prolonged power outages, major travel delays, and Fox Weather's Bain Froney is joining us live from Dallas, Texas right now. Bain, good morning. I know by Saturday or Sunday it's going to be like 11 degrees there. Are they ready?
Unbelievable.
Oh my gosh, I know you guys. I mean, right now it's 50 degrees here currently in Dallas, and they're having those final preparations going underway already at the grocery stores, the shelves. Slim pickings at this point. I mean, folks are really planning on hunkering down for this weekend. Like you mentioned there, temperatures, they're going to be diving into the 20s within the next 24 hours. A completely different story as we move throughout the rest of today. But again, right now, things are quiet before the storm. So this energy system that, I mean, obviously we've been talking about it throughout the entire country is going to be impacting over 40 states once all is said and done through this weekend. It starts here in Texas. So later on this afternoon, we are expecting to see some more of that rain falling. By the time we get into the late night, evening hours later on tonight, we'll start to see that rain transitioning into freezing rain and sleet. And that's when the most dangerous impacts will be. This will continue through Saturday, have a slight break in throughout Saturday afternoon, and then the precipitation continues on. Now, just to the north of us here in Dallas, Dallas, they could see a little bit more of that snow impact. Talking about areas like Oklahoma City, we could see close to 8 to 12 inches in some isolated spots when it comes to that snowfall. But again, it's going to be mostly those ice impacts here in the Texas area, in Dallas. A 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch of ice will be possible, but there will also be even more ice possible into areas like Arkansas, Mississippi, Louisiana, where we could see close to 3/4 inch to 1 inch of ice accumulating on roads and of course on those power lines. So expecting some major power outages here throughout the South throughout this entire weekend. And on top of this, Stephanie, Ryan, the temperatures, they remained cold. I mean, we are going to stay in below freezing all throughout this weekend, as well as into the beginning of next week. So anything that falls in the coming hours, it'll stick around for quite some time. So even though the precipitation might be moving out of Texas later on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those roads are going to be really undrivable for quite some time just because of the conditions that we're going to be dealing with for a little bit longer throughout the week. I'll send it back to you guys.
Thank you so much, Bain. Really appreciate all that information. And it's just the numbers that are so staggering. Appreciate your hit. Thank you so much. All right, let's check in with our Brooks Garner and see how we're looking here in Orlando. Hey, Brooks.
Good morning. Yes, as Bain said, Dallas is so susceptible to freezing rain, also because of those overpasses and the flyovers, and I-35 becomes an ice skating rink. Well, here in Orlando, no threat of any of that. It's 58 right now. It's going to be 85 this weekend. You can pretty much flip these numbers around to see what our high temperatures will be, especially on Sunday. It's going to be absolutely warm here. It's going to be pool weather while they're dealing with this snowstorm. 46 Gainesville right now, 56 Bithlo. A little bit of patchy fog out there this morning. 74 degrees by mid-morning, up to about 77 by lunchtime. Our high today, 80 by 3. It's going to feel so nice here in Florida this weekend, and it almost feels unfair when you see how bad the weather is just about everywhere else. 82 in Winter Haven right now, 79 Ocala. Next 3 days, we're going to see temperatures warming up significantly. 86 Sunday, a little cooler on Monday with 70 behind the front as that system moves away. No wintry weather here, but we'll catch some colder wind early next week. For the Rolex 24 at Daytona this weekend, it couldn't be finer. 73 on Saturday, 81 degrees on Sunday. A little bit warmer on Sunday, but it's just going to be a really nice event. Couldn't be better. I mean, look at this, minus 20 right now in Minneapolis, minus 19 in Fargo. True Arctic air surging south. That's one of the driving forces for this winter storm. The other is the contrast of that tropical air surging northward, producing a wide area of freezing rain and heavy snow with winter storm warnings from Pennsylvania all the way back through Texas, and cold weather advisories like extreme cold for the upper Midwest. Huge icing event, as Bain there in Dallas was talking about. I mean, if Dallas gets a 1/4 inch of icing, that's going to be a huge problem, not just for the roads, but also for power lines, for trees. There's going to be widespread power outages that could last for days in parts of the South. As far as these totals, do you get 0.25 inches? Do you get 0.3 inches? And on the snow side, do you get 4 inches? Do you get 6 inches? The impacts will be much the same. It's going to cause a lot of problems. Oklahoma could see upwards of 1 foot of snow for Saturday into the day Sunday. And then on Sunday, we're going to see this transitioning toward the east, and then Sunday night into the northeast, where there could be anywhere from 4 to 8 inches of snow in New York and upwards of 12 to 18 inches in Boston. Huge snowstorm for the northeast. Looks like no school on Monday up here. It's fun to track these. I remember being a kid growing up in southern New England, being really excited about those snowstorms. But one thing not to be excited about is the flight cancellation potential here, which is probably at this point a guarantee. A huge flight cancellation potential for Monday for Boston, New York, Providence, D.C., all the way back through Atlanta and into Dallas. So we're going to have a lot of that trickle down here in Orlando. We've been talking about it. Now the front comes through on Monday here. It's going to replace our 80s with highs in the 50s and 60s, and it will bring a couple of showers maybe with it. But otherwise, I mean, we're good to go. So here's a look at the forecast. 80 today, 80 tomorrow, 86 Sunday, 70 on Monday, and then looking ahead to breezy and cooler conditions Tuesday. All right, let's get a look at our Skyfox traffic. Jessica, I'm so glad that we are not in the midst of that.
Oh, you and me both. That's right. But when it comes to incidents, I do want to talk about a couple that have popped up for us this morning. This is a crash with the right lanes blocked on South Goldenrod Road. It's going to be in the northbound direction, right at that interchange of the 408 and also, again, Goldenrod Road. So that's going to be a spot where you want to probably give yourself a couple of extra minutes to head on through because we are seeing some delays there. Also want to let you know that they do have the roadway closed down and closed off East Colonial near Mills Avenue and Summerlin Avenue. You can see that purple is where it's closed off. This is going to be due to a crash. As far as we know, there's law enforcement present there. So that's the latest on what we know there. Again, near Mills Ave there, not too far off from downtown Orlando. As far as other incidents go, we've still been watching this one. This is going to be near I-95 and also the Mims area. State Road 46 is going to be that interchange. They have part of that on-ramp blocked off. There's some law enforcement there. You can see the tow truck, so that's some good news, helping to tow away the vehicles involved in that incident. So that's the latest. We do want to get the latest with our gas prices and pump patrol for you this morning. Ooh, this is a higher number. Don't love that. $2.93 at the racetrack. You can find this in Kissimmee. This is going to be on Pleasant Hill Road and Southport Road. Hopefully you can find some, but we've had some better prices this morning, but this is probably a little more realistic. But you can head over to your website, our website, fox35orlando.com/traffic to find more great deals. Took me by surprise, you guys. I'll send it back over to you.
Closer to that $3 range. Jessica, thanks. Well, coming up on Good Day Orlando tomorrow, of course, marks 20 years since the disappearance of Jennifer Kessie.
A former police chief is going to join us live here on Good Day Orlando and talk about how far this investigation has come. Plus, you might want to break out the board games like Yahtzee, how a family game night may help your kiddos brush up on their math skills. We'll explain.
Fox 35's community calendar is brought to you by these sponsors. Depend on Fox 35 News, now on Real Radio 104.1, partnering together to bring you news across Central Florida.
Welcome back, 7:26. Let's turn to the Health Watch. How much are you paying to lose weight? According to Talker Research, the average person spent over $12,000 just trying to reach their weight goals. Those expensive could include paying more for your healthier foods, new clothing, diet, and fitness efforts. Those all add up, and most justify the expenses, saying they believe they will spend less money when they hit their goal weight. Just a reminder, though, there are a lot of things you can do to keep your weight expenses down, from going on a walk to just making a few sensible food swaps.
Good advice there. And if you want to improve your kids' math skills, you might want to pull out a board game. Research from the University of Oregon finding that just a few 10-minute sessions of playing a board game like Monopoly or Chutes and Ladders can strengthen a child's math skills. The study looked at kids from preschool to 8 years old and found a bump in math for 76% of them. Researchers say they wanted to study easy, affordable ways to boost math skills in early childhood. So what's the board game at your house? Do you have a go-to one,
We
Ryan?
do not. Probably Monopoly of those, but I wonder how many kids can even do like long-form math.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Without a calculator. Let's hope so. Do you have one?
Oh, yeah. We are definitely rummy tiles people.
Really?
At my house. And poker. I mean,
yeah, well, poker's
can't go wrong. Coming up on Good Day Orlando, local linemen are bundling up right now and getting ready to help our friends to the north.
Yeah, we've been live this morning watching OUC headquarters as they get ready to leave. Many of them already have, and it's time to go racing this weekend. The Rolex 24 gearing up. They're going to have some awesome weather for this. We're going to look ahead to the lineup coming up.
Live from Fox 35 News, you're watching Good Day Orlando.
And it is good to be with you here on Good Day Orlando, 7:31 on this Friday morning. I'm Ryan Elijah.
Happy Friday, everyone. I'm Stephanie Rivas, and here are the top stories we're working on for you this morning. First up, Fox 35's Marley Capper is live at OUC as crews are getting ready to help up north and head out there for those devastating winter storms headed their way.
We want to check in, though, with Brooks Garner. He's got his hands full tracking this storm's move. And Brooks, we really saw it in Dallas. They're going from 50 to 11 in a matter of 48 hours.
Yeah, think about that. From 50 to 11 in a shocking crash in temperatures. It's going to lead to a lot of crashes on the roads thanks to icing from freezing rain from Dallas to Little Rock to Memphis, Nashville, Atlanta, Charlotte, up into Richmond. This could be a huge ice storm for the south and knock out power for a lot of people for a long time, and a huge snowstorm up north. Now, we are not participating in this winter weather. In fact, this weekend we are going to be in the 80s, and on Sunday, some places closer to 90 here in Florida than to 80 degrees. But the trickle-down impacts will affect us here in Florida. If you have any flights this weekend, anywhere domestically or through the middle of next week, there will probably be cancellations because a lot of the major hubs are going to be snowbound and icebound. Meanwhile, we're sunbound here. A live view from the Evermore Resort, the sun rising there in Orange County. It's currently 59 degrees in Orlando, 63 in Cocoa Beach. And at the bus stop this morning, you might want to wear a light sweatshirt, 59 degrees right now, but we'll warm up to 80 this afternoon for a truly delightful day. It's almost not fair. But then again, we have to deal with hurricane season for 6 months. They don't, so maybe it is fair. Well, either way, we're going to enjoy it. And coming up, we'll talk about when this warm weather will go away and be replaced with something a little more seasonable, a little more closer to normal. Our average high is closer to 70 this time of year, certainly not 90. All right, Jessica, what's the latest out there on Skyfox traffic?
Hey, good morning. We still have a couple of incidents that are still causing some delays and slowdowns. This is going to be where the road roads closed due to a crash on East Colonial near Mills Ave and also Summerlin Ave. So we can see that purple area. That's where part of it is closed down. It looks like traffic's at least moving along at a better pace. Not quite as many slowdowns there, but again, this is going to be close to Mills Ave at East Colonial, that intersection. Also, the intersection of I-95 and State Road 46. That is where we have the tow truck in place. You can see that from our FDOT camera here. They have part of that ramp blocked off. So we are still working to learn more information about what exactly took place, but it looks like things are clearing up. So that's some good news there. Not causing huge delays, but enough to where you have to give yourself a couple of extra minutes to get around that incident in particular. Also, speaking of delays, near Champions Gate to downtown, a 38-minute drive for you. We're seeing those slowdowns taking place as you make your way into southern Orange County, near Celebration, the attractions. You can see traffic's moving at a pretty slow pace there. So just give yourself some extra time. I'd give yourself about 45 minutes to an hour if you can through this particular stretch. All right, 7:34. I'll send it back over to you, Stephanie and Ryan.
Little patience needed. Jess, certainly good advice there. Well, as we know, many states are getting ready for that major winter storm that Brooks was just detailing.
And many power crews out there, they're actually preparing to help those states that are bracing for the snow and the ice, including our very own Orlando Utilities Commission. So Fox 25's Marley Capper is joining us live right now. Local power crews are preparing to travel South Carolina. How many of them are headed out to help, Marley?
Morning. So 17 people left this morning at around 6:15, and so they have been on the road for a little over an hour at this point, heading all the way to South Carolina to make sure that the people there have what they need, have the resources to make sure that if they do lose power, that they can try to get it back as soon as possible. So we're really grateful, and I know that the state is also grateful to have their help. Yeah, he said he's really grateful to do it too. He says that, it means a lot to go out into these communities and see them clap and cheer when their power returns. He did say that they're not nervous for the conditions. Obviously, they're not used to the ice right here in Florida, so they do have some thicker jackets that they're going to bring. And he said once they get to South Carolina, the crews there will give them tips and tricks on how to really manage and deal with the kind of weather that they're going to be experiencing, since again, they're not really dealing with that here in Florida. But they say they're ready and they're prepared and they're excited to help. For now, reporting live in Orlando, Marley Capper, Fox 25 News.
Great to see their spirit, and they are going to be needed. Marley, thanks. Well, happening now, preparations also being made in about a dozen states ahead of that storm.
So Fox 25's Jessica Dobson is joining us live in studio right now with what's being done to the roads there, especially. Jessica, good morning. A lot to handle right now for these states.
Totally, yeah. Good morning. And right now, roads from Dallas to Boston are being treated with sanitation crews working around the clock. Another thing we're watching, and another downside to this winter storm, is the rising energy costs. Customers in the path of the storm could face higher bills for the next billing cycle and even several months down the road. So all things that we're keeping a close eye on. There's multiple levels to this winter storm for sure, but I'll send it back over to you all at the desk.
4 different drivers taking through those 24 hours.
It's a whole culture, though, really,
at
that Rolex 24.
And some fancy cars.
Coming up on Good Day Orlando. The weekend is here and a lot is going on.
Yeah, we're going to look at some of the fun things you can do around town. We're going to have great weather for sure. And Jennifer Kessie disappeared 20 years ago tomorrow. Former Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rolone is going to join us to talk about the latest on the case, how DNA fits into this. What are his thoughts 20 years later? Stay with us.
The Mission Control Camera is sponsored by Launch Credit Union. Today's Weather Baby is sponsored by attorney Dan Newlin. Depend on the Fox 35 Storm Team, now on Real Radio 104.1, partnering together to bring you weather forecasts so you can stay safe.
Well, tomorrow is going to mark 20 years since Jennifer Kessie vanished from her Orlando apartment complex. Back in October, her family told us they have hope the investigation is moving in the right direction. Authorities are telling them the case is no longer considered cold.
FDLE is going fast and furious. Everything is being put on Jennifer as far as resources are concerned.
And former Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rolone joins us this morning to reflect on this. Orlando, always good to have you on. Good morning, my friend.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, a former Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rolone, as you said, someone out there knows something, and law enforcement carries this with them also. They want this solved, so that certainly is a burden they have carried. Appreciate you being with us this morning.
Thank you very much.
That is former Orlando Police Chief Rolone with us this morning. And tonight, we're going to have a special half hour on the latest in the search for Jennifer Kessie. That is tonight at 7 p.m. on Fox 35. We'll also sit down with her parents coming up next hour. I want to shift gears right now and talk weather this morning. So much to focus on. We've got a great weekend coming our way. That kind of sums it up right there.
It's all about the sunshine. You are right. And it's such an incredible climate contrast compared to what's happening just to our north with a major winter storm this weekend. Yeah, we're going to be in the 80s. Right now at the Evermore Resort, the sun is rising, the skies are blue, and temperatures are in the 50s to around 60 degrees. Our weather spotters, Debbie Carroll in Ocala with 50 degrees, Jim in the Villages with 53 degrees, Denise McClincy, Port Orange checking in with 55 degrees, and farther south, Michael Evans in Palm Bay with 60, Julie in Melbourne 63, and Joel Mathis, Claremont has 56. Thanks to our weather spotters for checking in every morning. And on this January 23rd, this Friday morning, we'll see a little patchy fog in spots, 64 degrees, up to 78 by 1, and we're on the way to 80 today. It is going to be a beautiful afternoon. It's been about 14 days or so since we've enjoyed temperatures in the 80s, and we're going to be firmly there in Winter Haven today at 82, 81 in Bushnell. A touch cooler at the coast, but still very spring-like with 74 at New Smyrna Beach and 76 at Cocoa Beach. Our typical high is 71 this time of the year. But look at this push of Arctic air. This is major. It's minus 20 right now in Minneapolis, minus 19 in Fargo. That air surging southward, and it's the contrast or the conflict between the Arctic air and the tropical air that is producing a huge storm system, producing widespread icing. Where you see this pink on the map from Dallas to Shreveport, Little Rock to Jackson, Tupelo up through Birmingham, Atlanta to Charlotte, and everywhere in between, there could be widespread power outages developing tomorrow night and through the day Sunday, which could last for a couple of days in some communities or longer. Meanwhile, in the north, there could be a stripe of very heavy snow crippling travel. And the bottom line is that impacts here in Orlando will be indirect but noticeable as far as flights go. We're going to have many flight cancellations in and out of Orlando because these major hubs will be probably closed for a time. Dallas, Atlanta, icing possible, a quarter of an inch making roads a mess, and in some cases where there's more than a half of an inch of ice that accumulates, bringing down tree limbs and power lines and making some roads quite literally impassable. Yeah, and to the north, big snow falling in places that typically don't see this kind of snow. Louisville may see over 10 inches of snow, especially if sleet doesn't mix in. It could get even more than that. Oklahoma City could see 9 to 12 inches of snow. There's going to be a pretty sharp line, though, where it snows and where it doesn't snow, where that freezing rain happens, like up around Dallas, points east. Meanwhile, in the northeast, Sunday night and Monday, they could see enough snow to shut down school for a day or two. 12 to 18 inches or more possible in New England and in the northeast. So while they're shoveling it out, we'll be sunning it out with high temperatures near or above 80 degrees today through Sunday. 86 Sunday is going to be so nice, and then cooler early next week. All right, Jessica, Rolex 24 this weekend. Hopefully they're not racing into work, though.
Yeah, hopefully you give yourself enough time and patience to make it to work safely, of course, and on time. But when it comes to incidents, they still have part of the roadway closed off. This is going to be East Colonial at Summerlin Avenue, also right by Mills Ave. This is where that incident is taking place, so they still have part of that roadway shut down, and you want to avoid that spot in particular if you can. Taking a view of some of our cameras, we have slowdowns taking place from Celebration to the attractions. Pretty typical of this time of morning. Did see a report of an incident near downtown Orlando. I was looking at all the cameras. I couldn't find it. So they may have cleared it up, but still, regardless, I-4 eastbound, almost 45 minutes heading in from US 27. All right, I'll send it back over to you, Stephanie and Ryan.
Thank you so much, Jess. Coming up in our next half hour, you all know we love Florida, and David Martin definitely loves Florida. He's dropping some hints about where he's going this morning.
He's been pretty tough this week. Take a listen.
Well, good Friday morning, everybody. Paolo and I are taking you to a safari, but not just any kind of safari. This is a mini safari. If you like mini cows, mini donkeys, mini anything animals, then you're gonna love where we're taking you this morning. Tune in to the 8 o'clock hour of Good Day Orlando to find out where we're taking you.
Your bus stop forecast is sponsored by Orange County Library System.
As viewers get to know me more, I hope that we can build a relationship that's fueled by trust. Every day, I have their best interests at heart. I'll see you weekdays starting at 4 a.m. on Good Day Orlando.
Welcome back. Come on, Barbie, let's go party. This weekend, Barbie fans can check out the Barbie Sports Club Tour. It's a Barbie truck all decked out in pink, and it's coming to the Altamont Mall tomorrow. The truck is there from 10 to 7 near the Shoe Carnival.
Well, car enthusiasts can head over to the Oviedo Mall this weekend for the annual Cops and Cars for Kids show. It is free to the public. Police cars will be there, first responders, hundreds of classic cars all on display. The event starts at 10 a.m. and it's going to run until 3 p.m. A lot of enthusiasts will go to those couple events for sure. That's just part of what we've got this weekend.
So much going on, guys, this weekend. Good to see you.
Welcome back.
I am back. So here's what we're looking at for our 8 o'clock hour of Good Day Orlando. We're going to be talking popular skincare trends like do-it-yourself sunscreen. Are they health or are they hype? We are talking live with a doctor how to break all of that down just ahead. Let's break this down as we take a live look through our downtown camera this morning. All right, Miss Traffic Steph.
Yes.
Traffic is moving slowly.
Ooh, eastbound right now, we are seeing quite a crunch up currently.
Great eastbound. Stay with us. The 8 o'clock hour of Good Day Orlando starts on the other side of this short break. Don't go far.